Are you ready to get back on track? Ready to reduce stress? And are you ready to connect both your body and your mind? Then let's dive in. Welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Jessica and I'm a naturopathic doctor and acupuncturist as well as a health coach. And I help clients overcome stress, anxiety, fatigue, poor sleep, and all the other symptoms that come along with burnout. So let's talk about getting back on track mentally and physically. So as we start to get back on track, one of the things we want to make sure we do is to keep stress management in mind through every step of this process. That's going to keep us ready to go, it's going to keep us committed, and it's going to keep us moving through the rest of the year with ease. So first thing we want to do is get your mind right. Yes, of course, we have to work on your mindset. And one of the great ways to help drill down is to figure out your why. Why do you need to get back on track? What is at the core of your reasoning for why you want to live a healthier lifestyle, or why do you need to reduce stress? Figuring out your why is really going to serve you throughout the year and will keep you on track when you start to lose motivation. Prime example of your why could be something like, why do you want to reduce stress? Well, you want to reduce stress because you want to have the bandwidth to be able to have a great relationship with your family. Because when you're stressed out, you snap at them and your relationship kind of sucks. So keep asking yourself why. When you're doing this exercise, take about 5 minutes and just keep asking yourself, what is your why? And when you reach something that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up or your heart flutter a little bit, that's your why. Now, the next part about working with your mindset has to do with cleaning up your consumption and what are you actually feeding your mind throughout the week, throughout the year. Some things that you might need to do, you might need to delete social media for a little bit of time off of your phone. You might need to take a break and do a digital detox. You really need to be careful about what you are putting into your thoughts. If you saw my meditation video and why it works with stress, you know that you have a lot of unconscious thoughts. So if you're just mindlessly scrolling through social media or you're seeing a lot of negativity because you're watching the news 24/7, cut it out. Just cut it out, let it go, take a break. I promise it will still be there when you're ready to resume your normal life. Once you clean up your consumption and you really figure out some of those negative things that you can eliminate that have been feeding into that negative mindset or making you feel a little bit stressed, now you need to replace it with something positive. You need to feed your mind and feed your thought process with something really helpful. So you want to make sure you're actually reading something that's actually fueling a positive mindset. So that could be anything from podcasts to YouTube videos to even books. Actually, next week's video is going to be all about my favorite books that help you reduce stress and shift your mindset and increase resilience. So make sure you tune in for that next week. But whatever it is, you want to make sure that what you're consuming is actually feeding you. For example, if you start to take out some of the social media scrolling that you're constantly doing, could you replace that with actually learning a new skill? You could go on Skillshare or Udemy and actually learn a new skill that you've been thinking about. That will take you so much further than that old habit of just scrolling and scrolling or binging Netflix all the time. I just want you keyed into how important it is to really shift your mindset when you're trying to get back on track or when you're trying to reduce stress or implement some sort of stress management protocol. The next part of getting back on track is actually having a plan. Think back to last year when you said, this is going to be my year. Did you actually take the time to sit down and make a realistic plan? Did you schedule it into your calendar? Did you actually take the time to block off that time in your calendar? Or did you actually take the time to write down what you were going to do each day? If you didn't do this, then now's the time to actually be serious about your plan. And from my naturopathic point of view, when I talk about a plan, I talk about really a head-to-toe plan. So let's stick with our example of decreasing stress and overwhelm as we get back on track. You want to look at something that looks at every aspect of that. You want to look at things like your sleep. Of course, we just talked about your mindset. You want to think about your nutrition, that you're fueling your body. You want to think about your exercise. And if you're doing things that are going to help mitigate stress and reduce overall stress. You want to create a plan that really does hit every aspect or every obstacle that usually comes in your way when you're trying to get on track. So make sure you actually set aside the time, take a few hours, it can take a couple of days to really come up with a thorough and comprehensive plan to get you where you want to go. You can check out the link below. I have a healthy habits checklist that would be a great start for you getting back on track. It's totally free. So why don't you go ahead and click that link and it'll take you to a page so that you can download that. I also have a previous video where I talked about healthy habits. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave that up in the cards as well. Now you've got your why, you are starting to move your mindset, you've set a plan. the next thing you need to do is set some realistic expectations. It's not realistic to expect to completely change or completely overhaul everything and go from 0 to 100 right away. I always recommend that you start small. Say your goal is to meditate more because that's going to help you with stress relief. Well, you don't want to say, I'm going to meditate every day for a full-on hour. That's not realistic and it's not going to happen. But what you can do is take something small, like say 5 minutes a day for maybe 3 days a week. Everyone has time for something like that. And usually what happens when you sit down to do something for 5 minutes, you're usually gonna keep going. Having that momentum and having those small wins are really going to keep you on track as you continue throughout the year. Having these small goals helps you actually recognize when you've done something well. So often we are our worst critics and we never take the time to really celebrate what we have actually accomplished. So keeping expectations in mind and setting realistic expectations is going to keep you on track throughout the year. And my last tip is having some sort of accountability and some sort of way to track your progress. So you want to make sure that you're tracking your progress. You can do this via spreadsheet, depending on how nerdy you are. You could use some sort of fitness tracker or wearable tracker. You could have a journal. You just need to pick a method that's going to work for you. Tracking your progress is again another way to see those small wins and to keep you motivated and keep you moving forward. And then having an additional layer of accountability is crucial as well. You could do things like have an accountability partner, or you could work with somebody like me as a health coach, someone to help keep you accountable and to help you take an honest look at your progress, where you're going right, where things are going wrong, what you're struggling with, and what you're really crushing it at. Having that accountability is going to help you for the long term and to stay on track. Again, think back to last year when you set your goals. Did you have an accountability plan in place? And if not, now's the time. So just to recap, we talked about getting your mind right and the importance of shifting your mindset as you start to get back on track. We also talked about coming up with a plan. It is crucial to have a plan because you need to know where you're going. Then we talked about also setting realistic expectations as you're planning, another key component to keep you motivated and to keep you moving forward. And then finally, we talked about tracking and accountability. Again, all ways to keep you on track, keep you motivated, keep you honest, and keep you accountable so that you can keep moving forward. Of course, if you need any help in any of these areas, you can always join me inside my program, The Better Health Blueprint. We do virtual coaching. We use functional medicine to help reduce stress, fatigue, anxiety, burnout, and overwhelm, and to keep you on track. So if you want more information about that, be sure to click the link below. All right, I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to give it a thumbs up as it helps other people find the channel. Be sure to leave any questions below. I love to see your comments, and be sure to subscribe so that you can know when I post a new video next week. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Bye.